you guys, I just got back from my first day back at work. I was at the beach last week and I made a video with the girls before I left explaining all of that stuff, and then this week the company I work for does like a summer day camp for our kids, and I will be doing that all summer long, with the exception of there's a 2-week period where one of my friends is coming from out of state, and then we're going on vacation together, and then I'll be back. When I get back from that, our program is closed down for 2 days for the 4th of July. So, for the most part, though, I'll be working through the end of July now, and I'm a little tired. I had to get up this morning at like 5:30, which is earlier than I normally get up in the week, especially last week where I was at the beach on vacation. So, not a lot's been going on. The beach was fantastic, even though the hurricane came through and the ocean was a little angry and rough a couple of days, and a little too rough for me to get into it, just because I don't always feel super comfortable. There's a pretty strong riptide current that you could feel in Ocean Isle, so I didn't spend a lot of time there in the water necessarily. We had a pool at our condo though, and I spent a lot of time on the beach. Like, we would walk down there in the evenings when it had cooled off, and it was so nice. I don't know what it is about the ocean and the beach and that entire scene, but it is so fantastically soothing for me. I just came back home and I felt refreshed and restored, and even though, you know, I can't breathe again and my eyes are all itchy, I still am allergy rash free though. I'm so excited. I have nothing there. There's just a weird spot where I've scratched my face. But I have no allergy rash, and that's the best news ever, because before I left I had like on my arms and like my, like right across here in my shoulder area, so that's always good news. But even with the return of my allergies, coming home just felt so fantastic and so good. I read 2 books while I was away and started a couple others. After I finished those 2, nothing grabbed my attention, but, so, you know, vacation did all the things vacation was supposed to do. It just made me feel restored and ready to jump back into work and get started again. So, that's really good. I mentioned in a previous video recently that I had ordered a bunch of books online and I had been to the bookstore. So, I thought I would just do a quick book haul video for you guys so you could see some of the stuff I'm going to be hopefully reading this summer. Or soon-ish. I have book reviews already planned out for the 2 books I read over break, and I'm right now just waiting to get them to Alyssa so that she can do her her sight unseen, unread book review by the cover kind of review for those 2 if she wants to. So the first thing that I got, and I've had this actual book for a while, but I bought the ebook for Shadow and Bone. Leigh Bardugo is going to be at LeakyCon, and then she's going to be at YALLFest, so her sequel, which I also purchased on my e-reader, it's hard to see on here. Oh no, I just deleted it. Hold on. I had a picture up so I could show you guys. I'm waiting to buy the hardback because I want to buy it when I can maybe get her to sign it. So I bought the ebook. And so look how pretty it is. It's got a weird glare on it, but I think her book covers are gorgeous, and I'm really excited that these 2 have both sold well enough that they've kept the cover, and I'm just really, really hopeful that the 3rd book, which is called, like, I don't remember what the 3rd one's called. I'm just really hopeful that the 3rd book follows in line with this, because it's so pretty, and even inside, like, the chapter headings and stuff are amazing, and these, they don't show up in the ebook, which is really disappointing. This is one of those books that it's really, there's a difference between the ebook and the regular book. See, like, these chapter headings and stuff are really detailed and illustrated out, and there are page number brackets too, and I just think that, so many times, like, there's a huge debate, like, ebook or paper. Good job, Rochelle. And generally, I don't really have an opinion. I can read a book in any format, whether it's like handwritten or a PDF file that I've, you know, purchased before. I had an e-reader. I would sometimes buy like EPUBs that you can get in PDF. Whether it's an ebook, a paperback, a hardback. I don't always feel like format matters, but these are books that are so beautiful that I think it's really it's really beneficial. You get a lot more of the story kind of out of that chapter art and those chapter headings. So if you appreciate the beauty of a book, I really recommend having the physical copy of those. I now have the physical and the e-copy of them because that's how good they are. So yes. I also ordered, like, randomly, those are the only YA books I've purchased recently. I've bought a lot of random things. This book, Loki's Wolves, is kind of like Rick Riordan's Percy Jackson books, which I know they made a movie out of, the first book, and I've really enjoyed those. But this is Norse mythology. I really enjoy books about mythology, especially if it's in a modern setting. And it's by K.L. Armstrong and M.A. Marr, which are actually pen names for Kelly Armstrong and Melissa Marr. Melissa Marr wrote the Wicked Lovely books. And then if you're into adult fiction, Melissa Marr also wrote the book The Graveminder, which is kind of like an adult fantasy. So I'm really excited to read this, even though it's middle grade, which is a lower age range that I usually read. I also got Is Everyone Hanging Out Without Me and Other Concerns by Mindy Kaling, which I always mispronounce her name, and Alyssa has to correct me. And I think we're going to actually read this book together as our next book club book after we finish the Babysitter's Club. So I'm excited about that. I've been really into memoirs since I always really liked those, but I read Let's Pretend This Never Happened, and I've really kind of jump-started that and really wanted to read more of those. And then I also have this book called Mr. Churchill Secretary, which I got because these were both on one of the Barnes & Noble's buy one, get one free, buy one, get one half off, one of those promotions. And it just looked really interesting. It's about a woman who ends up working for Winston Churchill during World War II, and she becomes like a code breaker and doing all kinds of really cool things. And there are 2 follow-up novels, so it's a time period I'm interested in, even though it's more adult, which I rarely read adult novels. Unless they're fantasy, I don't read a lot of adult historical fiction. So I'm excited about that, though, because, like, women's rights and sticking it to the man and all of those things. And the last book I got is more of like a coffee table kind of book, but it's Neil Gaiman's Make Good Art speech. And this was, he did this speech for a graduation speech last year, and it's so fantastic. I cried listening to it, and if you haven't had a chance to look at it or listen to it, I'll link that in the down below part so that you can go and listen to it, because basically I feel like I just want to listen to Neil Gaiman say things all the time. Like, I could just listen to him talk, because he has such quality, incredible things to say. But it's kind of set up like a children's book almost, but it has the text of that speech, and I don't know, like I said, that speech, even though I'm not an artist, I'm not a writer, I'm not a painter or a musician or any of those things, it just was one of those things that really touched something in me when I listened to it. So when I found out they were going to make it into a book, I was really happy about that too, and I was like, that's something that I feel like you should always have. Or for me personally, I should always have that close at hand, so if I wanted to look at it or see it, I could just look it up. But this ran a little long, but hopefully you guys are all having a happy summer. If you don't have to work, I'm really happy for you, and a little bit jealous. If you do have to work, I hope that you are, you're digging it, you're doing something that you love, and sometimes being a grown-up is the worst thing ever, and sometimes being a grown-up is the best thing ever. I think when it comes to having to work in the summer, grown-up is kind of thumbs down. But anyway, you guys have a great evening, and I'll see you later. Bye!